Enzo Maresca, Chelsea's new manager, comes out and starts blaming the defensive record on Mauricio Pochettino's tactics from last year. Well, that's what some people are trying to spin. I don't think he's trying to do this. I think he's given us genuine reasons. Furthermore, Samu, here we go. We've got the new striker that Chelsea believe is the solution. We've got an update on what's going on with Victor Osimhen. However, Napoli, if Victor doesn't change his mind, you ain't getting Romelu unless you pay the big bucks. Furthermore, Chalobah is available for £25 million. Everyone told me it's going to be a Champions League club. It does not look like it. And finally, Real Madrid 2, Chelsea 1. Match review, insight for the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. I told you lot the other day, don't be worried. I'm not worried. But I've got some stuff that I need to get off my chest. Because what I saw yesterday had me a little bit questioning what's happening here. Because I see the positives, I see the vision, but some of the elements are absolutely blowing my mind with negativity. Let's get into it, let's break it down, let's be objective, but fair and realistic. Because I think that is the key here. Realism of how long it takes to implement the system, but not excuses in terms of effort and energy level. Let's get into it. Hit that like button, 1,000 likes. Subscribe if you're new. You made it this far, you're enjoying it. After yesterday's game, Enzo Maresca came out and he had an interview, and there were some quotes that came out which triggered a lot of people. Because you know, at this moment in time, there's two segments, right? There's the Enzo Maresca lovers. Yeah, there's the people that think Enzo can't do no wrong, and a lot of you are saying that's me. A lot of you say, oh my god, you're defending everything Enzo does. That's what I'm hearing consistently. When in reality, I'm just giving the man a fair chance. Same as I did to Pochettino. 19 league games, brother, to teach me that you are the right person for another 19 league games. And then we reassess the year. Alright, so you've got 19 games to prove to me you're the right man for me to back you fully. Then, you got the other element. The ones that are just waiting for every little reason for him to mess up, just to call him out. Just to say, Enzo Maresca, Pochettino was better than you. So what does Maresca do? He goes out there and says, look, defensively, we're conceding goals. This is me like narrowing it down, right? Defensively, we're conceding goals. It's due to the fact of what we were doing last year, our defensive line. We're dropping 5 yards deeper, whereas we should be a little bit higher to make it more compact. This is reasons. It's not excuses. And it actually makes sense. Because if we're more compact, people are going to get played offside when they make those runs. But if they drop back, all of a sudden the gaps are bigger. The people in the middle between the midfield and the defense are just going to be having more space, 1 or 2 seconds extra. They can play around the midfield. If the press ain't right, balls are going over the top, players are getting played in and they're not offside. It makes sense what he said. But people took it as a negative, as they always do. And personally, I don't think he's firing shots at Pochettino, but more so giving you tactical reasons of why things have gone wrong. So let's get over it. Let's not try to cause any drama. Let's move on to the next part. Fabrizio Romano has given us a here we go, and this is where it gets interesting, right? We have got an here we go at Chelsea Football Club for Samu Allardyce, who is 19 years old, Spanish under 21 international, and a lot of clubs, according to Fabrizio, were after him, including Bayer Leverkusen. And it's one of those things, right? Now we've signed him. Now the medical's going to happen. The announcement's going to be there. There's going to be a lot of stories like, oh, we beat so many competition. We got the player we wanted. This is the player we always wanted. You know the lovely PR that comes with associated when you sign a player. What I'm going to say is I feel sorry for this kid. And the reason I feel sorry for him is I don't want him. I don't think he's good enough for what we need. I don't think he moves the needle. So I think it's just a waste of money because it's just another prospect signing. A lot of fans don't like him because they've convinced themselves, just like I have, that we need proven. We need someone who's 25, 26, guaranteed to come in and not as much of a question mark as he would be. Yet none of us, in my opinion, have a great understanding of the type of player he is. And we're reacting in a way where we've been accustomed to finishing 12th and 6th in the last 2 years. We don't want that to repeat again. So we are rattled. And why I feel sorry for him is because we're not giving him a fair crack. There is almost a perception that, oh, he's just not good enough. So whatever he does, we're going to have confirmation bias the minute he has a bad game. So what I think we need to do is we need to be as fair as possible to him. And we need to understand he's not the finished product. And the player that we signed is going to be rusty. And the player that we signed is not going to be the ultimate finisher that everyone wants to see. So I'm going to try my best to be objective, criticize him when his performances merit it, praise him when his performance merit it, but not drop the standards that I believe a starting striker at Chelsea should have. And furthermore, I don't think he's better than Nicholas Jackson. Jackson should be a starting striker. That's just my personal opinion. Next story is regarding what's happening with our striker situation. And this is very interesting because what's happening with our striker situation is very messy. We have got Romelu Lukaku on the books. Chelsea have basically put their foot down with Napoli. They said, if we're not getting Victor Osimhen, you're not getting a discount on Romelu Lukaku. You are going to have to pay the £37 million for this individual. You are going to have to pay what it takes to get this player out of his release clause. And this is where it gets more interesting. Because according to Fabrizio Romano, and this is the key, this deal's going to drag on till the very last week. And once it drags on to the very last week, we're just going to have to face the truth that this deal might happen because Chelsea are going to force Victor Osimhen to take a pay cut and join us on a loan with an option. Or Victor Osimhen's going to be stuck at Napoli, or he'll go somewhere else. But what is happening with Victor's side is that Victor does not want to take a pay cut. I said this yesterday, I'm going to reiterate it again. I think Victor Osimhen is a good player. People took it as I said he's not a good player. I think he's a very good player. I just don't think he's good enough to spend 70 million on. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think he's complete enough. And people telling me he's the most complete striker since Karim Benzema. Don't believe it. I've got eyes. I know what I see. I know the type of player he is. I don't need to do scouting. I've watched enough Napoli. I'm Georgian. I watch Napoli because of Fucha Kvaratskhelia. So my exposure to watching Victor Osimhen is more than yours. I guarantee it. Because I know for a fact a lot of people talk about players when they don't watch him. You see the way I'm talking about Samu. I don't know enough about him. But what I know is small. And what I know, that's why I'm saying we need to give him time. Because it's going to be difficult for us to have a solid opinion. With Victor Osimhen, I know what we're getting. And if we get him, he might be an upgrade in terms of finishing on everyone we have. But we're going to be looking for another striker in two years' time, in 12 months' time. Because this other stuff of the game, I don't think he's going to be able to do. That's just my personal opinion. But we need to wait and see what happens. But this Romelu Lukaku deal is dragging on. This Victor Osimhen deal is going to drag on, and we'll see what happens. The Chalobah news is actually very interesting, right? Because there's links now with Trevor and Chalobah to a situation where people told me he's going to get a European club. It looks like he ain't getting a European club. It looks like Crystal Palace are coming in, 25 million, because Mark Guehi's going across to the one and only Newcastle. He's going to the northeast. He's going to play for the Geordie boys. Yet they need to replace someone, and their idea is, let's get Trevor Chalobah. Firstly, I think that's a phenomenal move for Trevor Chalobah. I don't think he thinks it's a phenomenal move for him, because in his head, he is too good for that level, and he believes he should be at a top 6 clubs playing European football. He wants to play for an Inter Milan, an AC Milan, a Juventus, a Roma, or Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, or one of our top clubs in England. And the reality is, the options just aren't coming in. And everyone that's being linked with him are the West Hams, are the Palaces, are the Evertons, are like the clubs that are a tier below where he believes his aspirations are. And when you think about it in a logical way, why is it he's always second choice on these lists? And people now, because Chelsea are conceding goals, are saying he has to play. You can't sell him. I like the player. I said it when we got Tosin. I said it when we got, Badiashile. There's not much in it between them. So, like, there's no point. Like, if someone goes to me, oh, Tosin is better than Chalobah, I'll say, yeah, potentially, but there's not much in it between them. But when people tell me, oh, Chalobah's much better than Tosin, I'm saying, much better, really? Like, what is he much better? And this is why I think we have got a little issue. Our centre-halves, there's no blatantly great centre-half in our team. Levi Colwill is not reaching the standards that we expect him to, yet he hasn't played much, so he's still developing. Fofana's recovering from injury. Tosin Adebayo, in my opinion, is just a squad filler. You've got the Sassy, who a lot of people rate, that I don't rate. I don't see the fuss about him. I personally think Chalobah's better than him. I don't think Badiashile has been good for 12 months, and we'll talk about him. But it's a very messy situation that we're in. And if we can get 25 million for Chalobah, it's sad, but it's going to happen. Now we need to review Real Madrid 2, Chelsea 1. Because I'm going to start with the ugly, then I'm going to get into the bad, and then I'm going to get into the positives to end this video in a high note, right? Because I think it's important to leave on a high note, and the ugly, side needs to be spoken about first. Number one, the overall effort. This was ugly, man. It was well and truly ugly. A lot of people got really angry at Lucas Vazquez because he absolutely went through Gusto. They got really annoyed at Militao because he clamped one of our players. And they got annoyed at Rudiger when he almost went through Christopher Nkunku. And what I said there is, they've got professional pride. They don't care if this is a friendly. They're going to up their game. They're going to ensure that they're combative. They're going to ensure that they are giving it everything. And the intensity, the standard is even there in a friendly. Let that sink in. Our boys, on the other hand, I don't believe that was there. I saw Levi Colwell. I saw James Badiashile nonchalant. Then the next element of the game, because we'll get into those guys in the bad. In the ugly, the pressing from our players was hopeless, and it caused so many problems for our defenders. It is mad. Everybody today is picking on Colwell, James, and Badiashile because they're getting isolated. And the reason they're getting isolated is because there's no pressing on the ball. They're dropping deeper the way Enzo Maresca explained it. So when balls go over the top, players are onside and they're left isolated one-on-one. And when you play against Vini, when you play against Rodrigo, there are going to be occasions where you lose a one-on-one duel. They'll dribble past you. They are world-class. This is what happens. And why is this happening? Because Sterling isn't pressing effectively. Gio isn't pressing effectively. Noni Madueke is choosing when he's pressing. Nkunku is selective with when he's pressing. There was an element in the game yesterday where in the second half, Nkunku is telling Noni, you need to press there. Noni's attitude isn't allowing him to be receptive. His body language is throwing his arm like, don't chat to me, don't tell me what to do. And for me, this isn't acceptable. Like, you know what I think the problem is? I think Nkunku has the right, in my opinion, as one of the leaders in the dressing room to tell you what to do. You're a kid in that dressing room. He's teaching you. He's holding you to high standards, right? And the problem is, he's good enough where if he doesn't press, we can carry one. We can carry Nkunku not pressing with Vim. However, and this is the key, Noni hasn't done nothing in the game to warrant that sort of leeway. He has done nothing in the game for me to say we can carry him on the pressing end. Nothing. And people are going to say, no, Alex, you're being out of order. No, what has he done? Genuinely, what has Noni Madueke done where we enable him to act like he's some sort of superstar? Like, nothing. And it frustrates me when I see players like that. Because it's not just Noni. Sterling's another one. Selective pressing. Gio's another one. Brother, you have just joined us for 7 million. They will loan your ass out and you will not come back for 2 games. Like 2 seasons. And then they will sell you if you don't fight for your, demand to be a Chelsea player. The bad. And the bad is annoying because when we look at it, there's a lot to talk about. Badiashile, I defend you more than anyone, right? I actually think, I've said it on many occasions, Badiashile is a very good defender. What I saw under Potter in that partnership with Thiago Silva, it was great. I saw the elements of a great defender. However, this has now been around about 12 months of consistent poor form. Under Pochettino, consistently exposed, I blamed the system. Now in pre-season, I'm seeing the same issues. Yesterday, the second goal, the ball goes in behind. The keeper comes out, he opens himself up. Diaz went around them very easily. I didn't like that. Badiashile gets back, and instead of sprinting, he jogs. And because he jogged, he didn't slide, nor did he give the efforts required. Guess what happened? Guess what happened? The ball goes in and we get into a position where we absolutely concede a goal that we shouldn't. In a competitive game, if that happened, I don't want to see him play ever again. Genuinely, I'm selling him because it's inexcusable. That was a lack of effort. That was something I would do on 5-a-side from Badiashile. He needs to get better. James and Colwell, that first half was disgusting. Colwell and James, for that first goal, jogged back. When I tell you they jogged back, 4 Real Madrid players got into the box prior to them recovering to get into the box. And even then, I could have ran faster. An unfit me would have got into the box quicker. This is effort, this is concentration, and this is desire. I shouldn't be asking that from professional footballers. Like, you know, Pochettino last year consistently spoke about desire. And what I always said was, whilst desire is important, big man, tactics are just as important. Well, this year, we evidently have tactics. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can see the tactics in fruition. But what I'm seeing is lack of desire in elements, in selective moments. And it's like, this can't run. And I'm really frustrated. And finally, the finishing needs to improve. Yo, Raheem could have got a hat-trick yesterday and an assist. And Gil could have set him up. And this is the annoying thing, because we've got a left winger who's going to get high frequency of chances purely based on his movement. But he can't finish. Because in the 7th minute, there's one ball that drops to him, he scuffs it. Another ball that drops to him, he absolutely miskicks it, goes into the air. This is within the first 7 minutes. We concede a goal. We could have been 1-0 up. We could have been 1-1. Then, this is the key. He gets another opportunity where he gets sent through by Nkunku. He just gets marshalled out the way. He gets played through by what's called Gusto in a beautiful combination play. Cross it back. Poor pass. No quality in the final third. And this is an experienced player. Raheem, you're too good for this. You're meant to be too good for this. You're on crazy wages, big man. I need to have higher standards from you. And this is coming across like I'm moaning a lot. I promise you, I'm not trying to. I'm going to give you guys some positives. The positive is we are generating high quality chances. Crazy high quality chances. Raheem had 3. Nkunku went through 1-on-1. Gio had an opportunity to lay Raheem off for a 4th chance. He didn't. He took a pot shot. There were opportunities where Noni was in good areas, puts the ball across, no one's there. We created 6 or 7 good chances. And on another day, we score more goals and everyone's happy and everyone's raving about how good the performance was. Scoring goals won't be a problem this year. Genuinely, if we keep creating at this rate, if we keep doing the system, we'll be fine. The midfield. I thought the midfield was very good yesterday. I really do that. I was very impressed with the midfield. Enzo Maresca, Enzo Fernandez, Lavia worked very well. Caicedo came on, looked decent. Druj Brahul came on, looked decent. I'm not worried about our midfield. I feel like the balance in the midfield is good. And Gusto coming into the midfield as well helped. What I just want more is a little bit more control, a little bit more pressing from the forwards, and everything will tie in. Genuinely, I don't worry about our midfield. I don't worry about our fullbacks. It's the forwards and the centre-backs that I'm starting to worry about. And the goalkeeper. Don't forget him. Finally, another positive. The second half was better. The second half was a lot better on the defensive end. Little bit more effort from the players in defending. James grew into the game. Fofana came on, grew into the game. Colwell really grew into the game. Even Badiashile grew into the game when I thought he was a horrible game. Colwell in the second half was actually very imposing. James was as well. But then at the same time, after 15 minutes, Vinny came off, Rodrigo came off. So more of the B players came on. So it weren't the world-class players that they were going up against. However, the big tie now is Inter Milan. We need to win that game. Like, there's no excuses. Sunday, we have to win. I know it's the last preseason game and people's saying it's preseason. I feel like we need to make a statement victory, and it is what it is. Guys, hit the like button. Today was a longer video than usual. There's a lot of news. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day. Preseason game and people's saying it's preseason. I feel like we need to make a statement victory, and it is what it is. Guys, hit the like button. Today was a longer video than usual. There's a lot of news. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day.